Hey, it's Alex here, and welcome to the final lesson in this 10-part course on Auto Locksmith Mastery. Today, we're going to be talking about scaling and automating your locksmith business. So if you haven't got the full course, you can get it in the link in the description. It's totally free. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel as well for more content. And let's get into this lesson on scaling your business. So quick introduction. So how to get consistent leads for free, how to rank _1 on Google instantly with paid ads, scaling to $1,000 per day with lost car key jobs, subtracting jobs and adding new services, and automating bookings and payments with software. So by this end of this lesson, you'll have a 6-month roadmap to scale your business. So how to get consistent leads for free. So your first call of action should be to create a Google business profile. Now this is totally free. Now they have been tricky with locksmiths. A lot of them have been getting suspended and things like that. You may have to go through some verification process to get listed, but it's totally worth it. Now what they're preferring at the moment is if you've got a physical location. But failing that, what you can do in the verification process, you can request a video call. Now, this is what I recommend you do if you're just creating a brand new business profile. When it comes to the verification method, don't say email or postcard or whatever. Say video verification. And what will happen is someone from Google, strangely enough, will actually set up a video call with you to see that you're a real person, and they might ask to see your equipment, to see your vehicle, things like that. They're just trying to weed out the scammers. And because a lot of what was happening in the past was a lot of locksmiths were creating multiple listings in various locations to obviously get more coverage. So they're trying to weed that out. And so once you do create a profile, you'll leave a footprint on Google, and they will track you and suspend you if you try to create multiple listings. So if you already have a profile, don't create another one. Just optimize your current one with the things I'm going to tell you in this lesson. So they've changed the name. It used to be called Google My Business. Now it's called Google Business Profile. So the best thing to do if you're creating this from scratch is to choose a name that's actually got the keyword in it. So let's say you're a locksmith in London. By having the word Locksmith London in your business name, it's shown to rank faster and more guaranteed to rank. If your locksmith name is like Johnny's Locksmiths or something like that, because it hasn't got the keyword in, it may not rank, but it does depend on many other factors like your reviews and things like that. So the more reviews you get on Google, the better. It will increase your rankings, and you want to be adding photos and posts weekly. Now there is a feature, if you could download the Google Business Profile app, you can actually post, just as if you're posting on social media, you can actually post on your business profile. And the best thing to do for that is every time you attend a job, you can just take a photo of the keys you've just created. So let's say you've just done a lost car key job. Simply take a photo of those keys, post it on your profile, and just say, I've just completed this job in such and such a street. Maybe with a call to action to give you a call. How to rank higher in Google search. So you want to be using local keywords. So for example, lost car key replacement in your city. Post updates, before and after photos, and list your business on Yelp, Facebook, and local directories. Now, in a previous lesson, we've talked about building a high converting locksmith website. So a lot of locksmiths don't get work simply because their website sucks. So when someone lands on there, it's slow loading, it's not built for mobile, it doesn't have any click to call buttons, it's just a disaster. So you really, even if they were getting loads of visitors to their website. They're losing so many jobs because people just don't have the time for you to wait for your website to load, or if it's all, 𝐓𝐇𝐈𝐒 on a mobile and none of it makes sense, it doesn't look professional, they're likely to back out. And some of these websites, I mean, I've looked at hundreds of locksmith websites because obviously we build websites for locksmiths, and some of them just look like they're from, the early 2000s when the internet started in 95 or whatever it was. So you really need to get up to speed with having a fast loading mobile optimized website. And you want to be creating content on that website as well to keep it relevant, keep Google crawling over your site. And remember, this is all free leads as well. So if you're perhaps on a budget now, then this is where you want to put your focus. Now let's talk about how to get to the top of Google instantly with Google Ads. Now, Google Ads are pretty much built for locksmiths because the best sort of business for Google Ads is like an emergency type situation where people need your services ASAP. And that's exactly what a locksmith business is like. It's high demand. So by running some Google Ads, it will put you at the top of Google immediately. Literally, sometimes you can go live with your campaign and start getting phone calls and jobs in the same day. Other times, you may be putting, like, Google will need to optimize your ads before you start getting those jobs. But again, this is something, this is a whole nother subject in itself. This could be a whole course on itself. There's so much that goes into Google Ads, but it does work instantly. While SEO can take months, Google Ads work instantly, and it brings you high value emergency jobs. So this is not people shopping around thinking, oh, maybe next week I might get a replacement car key. This is people who need the job done now. They're going to click on your ad. So these are the high value, high ticket lost car key jobs. So how to set up a profitable Google ad? You want to target, like we said before, things like lost car key replacement near me. And you want to be weeding out all the negative keywords as well. Let's say people search for a locksmith course in your area. Your ad doesn't want to be showing up. So you can't just rank simply for the word locksmith because you'll get a lot of wasted clicks. Obviously, use your location targeting. And the great thing about Google Ads, which I love, is the fact that you can schedule them for the specific times you want to work. So let's say you pick your kids up from nursery at 4 o'clock or something like that. You can actually switch the ads off between, say, 4 and 6 p.m. So you know that you're not going to get any call. Well, you might get some organic calls, some free calls during that time, but you wouldn't be paying for any ads during that time. I mean, you could still schedule the booking in, but let's say you don't work on Sundays, you can obviously schedule it to turn those ads off on Sundays. So it's really flexible. And the good thing about Google Ads is the longer you leave them running, the more optimized they get, the cheaper the cost per call becomes, and it just becomes a money machine. You'll literally be putting, say, $100 in there and pulling $300-400 back out of it. So have a catchy headline, locked out, we're fast and reliable. The main thing people care about with locksmithing is the speed and the cost. Okay, so you've got to keep that in mind. Are you fast and are you affordable? So description, you can just put 24-hour auto locksmith. We get you back on the road now. And set a daily budget. You definitely want to start with no less than $50 a day, because any less than that, it's quite a competitive niche. So you might only get like 1-2 phone calls out of $50. So you really want to be optimizing for calls. And, once you've dialed this in, you can scale it up. I know people who are spending up to $1,000 a day on Google Ads because we manage their accounts. And, they've ended up hiring a team and everything to help them take on that work. And like I said, it becomes a money machine with this. It's not a cost to your business. It's, you're putting X amount of dollars in and getting, 2, 3, 4 times back as much back out. So it's definitely not a cost to your business. And also, any money you spend on ads can be written off your tax bill at the end of the quarter or at the end of the year. So you must track your ads as well. This is very important. I've seen so many locksmiths who come to us, they're in a dire state of affairs because they're running Google ads and it's not working for them. That's because they haven't tracked any of the conversions. So what we need to do is put a pixel on the website so that we know exactly how much is costing us per phone call or per lead. And then we're optimizing to get that cost down as much as possible. If you don't have any tracking pixel or Google Tag Manager on your website, you're literally throwing money at the wall. You're literally like throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks. So tracking is vital for this. So once you get this, like I said, once you get this running, Google Ads could instantly bring you in 3 jobs a day. So let's say you got set up by next week, you could turn ads on and you could be getting 3 jobs per day and making that goal of $1,000 a day. And a lot of people, when they come to me, they say, is it really possible to get 3 jobs per day? And it's totally possible, because all you need to do is check how many searches in your area using the Google Ads keyword planner. You can actually see the volume of searches in your area. So let's say 1,000 people every month are searching for your services. You only need a fraction of that, a small percentage of that, to make a really good living. So scaling to 3 lost car key jobs at $350 each. So why do we focus on lost car key jobs? Because they are the best for scaling. So remember what we said in a previous lesson. If you haven't got the full course, the link's in the description. It's totally free. These lost car key jobs are valued between $150 and $500. So there's an urgent demand for these because people need them fast. Their car could be stranded on double yellows. It could be parked in the middle of the road. Anything, they need your services ASAP and they're willing to pay for it. So there's a fast completion time on these, roughly an hour per job. So you can easily scale that up. So the simple math of scaling is 1 job per day could be $350, 3 jobs $1,050, 20 jobs a month will be $7K, and 60 jobs per month, that's just 2 jobs per day, you'll be turning over $21,000. And most people would need to go to college or university or whatever, study for years to earn this sort of money, when you could be up and running with this. As if you get your lishy picking down to a fine art, you can get started very quickly. So how to get 3 jobs per day? So obviously you want to be optimizing your Google My Business profile, posting on it weekly, running Google Ads strategically to get more paid leads, building partnerships with tow companies and dealerships, which will come long term, but that all compounds. And then following up with past customers for referrals. Now, we've talked a lot about different ways to upsell people. We're going to get into that again in this lesson, because it's so vital for just basically you're maximizing the amount of money that you can make per customer. So it's not just always about getting new customers, it's about maximizing the profit for each customer. So let's talk about subcontracting jobs to other locksmiths. So it's going to come to a point where you get too busy and you physically can't cover these jobs. You've also got a life. You want to be out sometimes. You want to be going for meals. You want to be going on holiday. So by subcontracting, it will not only allow you to scale, but also take the pressure off yourself. You'll be able to expand coverage, so you can start taking jobs on in multiple cities. You can increase revenue because obviously you'll take a cut out of each job. You'll be able to work less because other locksmiths can handle these jobs while you manage the leads. So how to start subcontracting. So find trustworthy locksmiths in your area. Now, if you're proactive and you're really keen to get this going, I recommend finding locksmiths and just, if they've got shops, go in the shop and speak to them. That's much better than an email or a phone call. The next best thing is a phone call. Failing that, I mean, you should be able to get hold of them if they're a locksmith, but I don't really recommend sending out emails, but definitely in-person or phone calls. And the best way to actually start a relationship is by passing a job to them. So once you have got yourself up and running, there's a job that perhaps you can't cover. The best introduction would be, "Hey, is that John, the locksmith? Yes, I've got a job here. I'm struggling with it. I'm a new locksmith. Could you come and save me? I don't want any money for it. Can you come and save me?" And then obviously don't take a cut for that first job. But then the next time you call him, maybe the first 2 or 3 jobs could be for free, and then say, "Look, I've got a lot of work here. Could we work out some sort of, 30% commission or something like that?" So remember to train them to give an excellent customer service. So this is really if you're taking on new people. So an example of scaling with subcontracting. So let's say you generate 10 jobs per week. You do 5 jobs, and then you subcontract the other 5 jobs, keeping $100 per job. That's an extra $500 per week, or over $2,000 per month, just from simply answering the phone. Now, a lot of people are worried about getting their websites set up too early. So they think, I'm not going to set my website up until I've got the equipment or until I'm ready. And the truth is, your website should come first. So by having your website set up and your Google Maps listing, for number one, it's going to take a while for your website to start getting indexed and ranking. And number two, it's important that you do that first, because even if you do get jobs coming through, you'll be able to start subcontracting these jobs out and making money straight away. Plus, you'll get a feel for answering the phone. And the worst case scenario, people think it's the end of the world if a customer calls you and you can't take the job. But it's definitely not. I'm turning down jobs all the time, and it doesn't affect your business. You simply tell them that you're fully booked, and that makes you look busy anyway. Or you can say, "I'm not in the area. I'll pass you to a colleague of mine." Do not fret about your website generating calls before you're ready, because that's what you want. You want to be able to hit the ground running. The ideal situation is you start your website before anything, and then by the time you've trained, you've got all your equipment, you've set your vehicle up, and you hit the road. By then, in an ideal situation, your website's now ranking, your Google Maps listings verified, and you hit the ground running. That way you're making money on day one. You don't want to be doing it the other way round, where you're all set up, ready to go, and your phone's not going to ring because you haven't done that first step. So if you need help with building your website or Google Ads or anything like that, there is a link in the description, so you can get more help there. So adding additional services. So residential locksmithing, we talked about this. So why would you expand into residential locksmithing? It normally goes the other way around. People normally start as a residential locksmith and then expand into auto. But if you're already a residential locksmith and you're expanding into auto, that's great, because you're just adding revenue and you've already kind of got the marketing down. If you're not getting consistent leads, that can be fixed, but that's going to be a lot easier for you than someone starting fresh. So the reason that you might want to consider adding residential locksmithing in the future is because it increases your income without extra marketing. So you've already just acquired a customer through your auto business. So why would you turn that work away when you could be, maximizing your profit from that customer. So like I've said before, if a customer loses a bunch of keys and they call you out to replace the car key, their house keys are normally on the same bunch, so it's a no-brainer for them to ask you to change their house locks as well. So high profit residential services to add, so house lockouts, rekeying locks or replacing locks, smart lock installation is a big one. So a lot of locks now are going digital. So just by having a couple of these digi locks in your van, you can really increase your revenue. Safe opening and key duplication. So, you can earn some really good money with safe opening, but this is not an easy job. So you're really going to have to get some professional training for that. Unfortunately, it's not like lishy picking when it comes to safe opening. It's very technical, and you definitely don't want to attempt any safe opening unless you are fully trained, because it's a whole nother art in itself. So how to get residential locks. So you can offer discounted home lock services to your auto customers. You can partner with real estate agents and property managers, and you can list your services on Google My Business. So if you're already listed as a locksmith, the general public tend to just blend the two together anyway. So they think, oh, you're a locksmith, you can open anything. So they're going to just assume that you do houses anyway. So you'll find if you start out as an auto locksmith, people are going to say, oh, by the way, I've got a dodgy lock on my back door. Could you have a look at it? And so that's your opportunity to start to scale up, because residential work is highly profitable. So now let's talk about using software to automate bookings and payments. So why you need automation. So when I first started out, I didn't have really the business savvy to work with it. I didn't really know what I was doing. I had these invoice pads that, I'd manually write receipts out for people, and I had all these bloody invoices flying around in my van. I'd stuff them into the glove box, and I wasn't really tracking my expenses. And when it came to doing my tax return, it was just a big mess, basically. It caused me a lot of stress. So what you need is some sort of software that tracks all your expenses. You can do invoicing at the click of a button, and it just keeps everything neat and tidy. And then when it comes to doing your tax return, it's really easy to just download that information from your app and simply send that off to your accountant. Or if you're doing your own books, then it makes it so much easier. You definitely don't want to be doing what I done and having, receipts flying around. I wasn't keeping any of my fuel receipts, or I was losing them. So I was actually paying more tax than I should have. By using a software, you are really, you're really just you're gonna thank me for it later. So a few that I recommend is FreshBooks, Jobber, and Square Appointments. Now, in the link in the description, I'll leave a link for FreshBooks, because this is the one that I use, and it's also super affordable. Because what you can do with that, you can actually get a free trial. So I'll just jump over to the page and show you that now. So you'll be taken to a page that looks like this, and you can actually get started for free. And their plans are super cheap anyway. It's like $7, $7.60 per month. Okay. And obviously this is something you'll grow with anyway. So grab a free trial of this FreshBooks, because it really is going to help you in the long term, even in the short term. Because what you can do is you can get everything nicely branded on there. You can have a professional invoice template. You can connect it with Stripe, PayPal, or credit card. So that way, when people, we're in a day and age where everyone wants to pay by card, and especially the amount you're going to be charging anyway. If you're charging $350 for a car key, then most people are not walking around with that type of cash. So you can just, take the payment on the spot with Stripe. You can invoice them on the spot, and they'll actually be able to open their email, click on the pay button, fill in their details, and pay you immediately. Or if you've got a card machine, that could be linked up to FreshBooks as well. So I highly recommend you get a free trial with them. Won't cost you anything to try it out. The link's in the description. So yeah, like I said, you'll thank me later for that. So remember, also a quick tip for this as well, there'll be no more chasing customers for money, because sometimes you can forget. Let's say you're manually doing this, you'll email someone, you could forget about that invoice. If you're doing so many jobs a week, you could forget about that you've sent that invoice because nothing's going to remind you. Whereas with FreshBooks, you'll be able to look on your dashboard and it will show up in red, unpaid customer, and you'll be able to, at the click of the button, send them an email to chase it up. And then if it comes down to the deadline where they don't pay, you can start calling them and so on. So, you know, you can't really live without this type of software if you want to run a successful business and scale it up. So we're coming to the end of this lesson now. So here's an exercise to create a plan for your business growth. So what I recommend, month 1 and month 2, optimize your Google My Business profile, obviously set your website up as well. Month 3 and 4, you could be running Google ads. You know, really, I don't recommend you start running Google ads from day one, because that's going to overwhelm you and stress you. If you're paying for customers, some of those jobs might not go as successfully as you hoped, and you've paid for those customers. So you only want to run Google ads once you've been in business for a few months, you've got organic jobs, and that's when you want to start scaling up. Month 5, you could hire a subcontractor to handle those extra jobs. And then month 6, you could start introducing extra services. Now, I don't recommend that you learn both auto and residential at the exact same time, because again, it's going to overwhelm you. But pick one and scale. So with this, you'll have a clear roadmap to scale your business to 6 figures. So right now, I just want to say a huge thanks for watching. You've completed the course if you've been following along. If not, the link is for the whole free course is in the description. Hopefully by now you've got the skills and knowledge to start and scale your auto locksmith. So the next step is to take action on what you've learned. There's no point of just watching this for entertainment. You want to get this business going. And if you want to go deeper, if you need my help in any way, if you need extra training, we do have a more in-depth training course than this one you've been in. There's much more practical lessons in there when it comes to picking, cutting and programming keys. We also build locksmith websites that are high converting, fast loading and optimized for mobile. We also run Google ads and we have SEO services as well. It's obviously better to work with someone who's in the industry, who knows exactly what's required, because you don't want to be outsourcing this to someone who's got, no Scooby-Doo about what this requires to succeed in this industry. So if you've got any questions, you can leave them in the comments or send me an email. I'm always happy to help. There's a few links in the descriptions for more help. And I just want to say thanks for attending this course. Do subscribe to this channel as well, because I've got some different type of content coming your way, which I think you'll find very useful indeed. So do subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in the members area. Take care. Bye-bye.